Good afternoon, Donis here. Hopefully the mic quality is better than yesterday's video. I was editing it, or just going through it, and I heard a bunch of like static or background noise. I'm like, oh, this mic's right here, and I made sure I've had it plugged in. The other day I think I was recording something, and then after I was done recording, I looked down and it wasn't on. So I was like, now ever since then I always check it. Green light is on, so it should be on. So I don't know. So I was like, oh, what's that noise like? So hopefully the audio is a little bit better there. So wasn't expecting that when I was going through it. Yesterday, man, yesterday was a little bit rough. I had a pretty bad migraine. I had it this morning as well, and then I took some medication. I can still feel it slightly there. It's not 100% gone, but slightly there. Um, yeah. So even like when I take medication for my migraines, it doesn't 100% always go away. Luckily, I was able to sleep last night. Sometimes it's pretty hard to sleep with the pain, but yesterday I was able to go to sleep. I would say at a reasonable time. Well, in all honesty, I after I uploaded my video, brushed my teeth and just hit the hay, man. I'm like, yeah, I because usually after a certain point, like at 10 p.m., I read my book till you know too close to like 11, and then depending on how I'm feeling, and then just go to sleep. But after that, after I was done uploading the yesterday's video, I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna just because like, what's the point of reading if I'm more concentrated on the pain than what I'm actually reading, right? So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Um, but yeah, I mean, things like that happens. But like I said, I still feel it's still there. Still, it's not 100%, but I am I'm wanting to make sure that hopefully by tomorrow morning it's gone. If need be, I'll have to take some medication. But cause I have some like, yeah, I just don't like taking like a bunch of medication for hurt slash damage your liver. Um, so I don't want to consume too much, right? Or give myself like a 24-hour period to recover from my liver. Um, so I'll have like not ointments, but it's like peppermint oil. So like, well, yeah, I guess it was oils or whatnot. It's just something more natural to help alleviate the pain. It doesn't always work, but like I said, it's better than nothing. Better than nothing, right? And uh, sorry, this. Like, don't you ever have experience that where you want to like switch lanes, but then you notice the car behind you is speeding up too fast for you to be able to like switch lanes in a safe distance. That's what just happened there. Um, but yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. Later today, it like doesn't get worse. So, but hey, that's with migraines. But yeah, work was pretty pretty boring. Um, but my one takeaway I wanted to make for this video was customer service, right? Like for me, my job, you know, related to storage, rates fluctuate for a lot of customers. More often than not, it goes up. They never go down unless we go in there and adjust it. And that's one of those things. Like I don't know how it is for other businesses, like let's say phone bill, water bill, electrical bill, like car bill, stuff like that. Like negotiating the bills. I know rent. I've heard rent you can negotiate, but you gotta talk good, or hopefully the person you speak with is able to able to or want to negotiate. Um, I don't know if you can negotiate with every bill you have. Maybe. Mm. But like for me, depending on the situation, like I'm willing to help, and the reason for it is, well, if you, it's better to do something than nothing at all. It helps alleviate the issue. Sometimes some customers are a bit like, hey, keep me at my same rate, and it's like, look, I can adjust it, lower, but keeping at the same rate, yeah, that's more often not a no go, right, for me. But that's the thing, is it depends on the manager. Some people are very lenient, very lenient. Other people are like, yeah, nope, that's a new rate, deal with it. I would say I'm more in between. If there was two sides, very lenient and no lenient, I'm more lenient to like the no lenient, but still more in the middle-ish. Like I'll see what I can do, but obviously I look at what's the going rate, how many we have available. Like I looked at the metrics, like does it really make sense, right? And I get it, like as a customer knowing what I know, it's like, well, you don't get paid for this. It's like true, like I don't get no benefit in terms of where how low or how high I keep your rate at, really. Like after I speak with you, I probably won't speak with you for another year, or your next rate increase. So it is dependent, it is dependent. Um, when you think of stuff like that, but hey, that's just depending on who you speak with. But you would think when you talk to someone on the other side of the phone or in person, right, on the other side of the desk or table, hopefully they're wanting to work with you. Yeah, it's all kind of like the car dealerships, right? Like, hey, can I get a better rate? This and that. Sometimes they can, sometimes not. Depends, right? Maybe it ultimately depends on the person, right? Some are more lenient than others. Um, but yeah, it just like for me, it's funny, when customers call, like where I work, more often than not, it's usually because of the rate increases, right? No one really, no one like, hey, I want to go speak with this employee tomorrow. Like, no one does that. It's like unless you're like good friends or whatnot, but more often than not, they either call to make the payments or call because of the rate increases. All right. So usually when they call, I check up the account, I look to see if they got increase. Quite common, there's a rate increase there. I'm like, okay, like in my head, it's like, okay, I already know what to expect, how the conversation is gonna go, and and it's funny things like while they're talking, I'm already like looking at what rate to adjust them to, or if there's a possibility. Like I already know, like I'm already looking at the answers before they even like speak with me. It just after once you do it for so many years, it's just like, look, you can rant and whatnot, but I'm already looking to see what I can do for you, like because there's no point of arguing. Like, and there's times where I have argued with customers, but it's because like, look, this is the way it is, and like I said, sometimes some of them are like, I get it in terms of them not being aware of it. It was like, look, you signed the lease, you signed the legal paperwork. That's not my fault. You didn't read it, and it's not like I was the one that rented to you, or you could rent online. But I mean, it really doesn't matter. You signed the legal paperwork saying that you acknowledge what you read, right? Um, yeah, there are some times where like customers do they do annoy me at times based on like stuff they say or the actions they want to take. It's like it's not that big of a deal. You more often than not though, when they do make it a really big deal is because they're trapped in a corner, stuck in a corner. Meaning like they can't downsize, they can't move out. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's not like, well, if you don't like the rate, you can move out. Well, in their situation, they can't move out, so they're stuck with what they have. They're stuck with us till a certain point, and that's the interesting thing. Is like there's customers I've spoken with like for the past year, like over the course of months and a year plus. Like you're still past due, or you're like still here. It's like you complain when you get rankers, but it's like you can move out. It's like, oh, I can't because of this and this and this. Like that's not on me. Like that's your that's your problem. Like, and I know, try to be empathetic. Was like, look, have I spoken to you before? For me, I'm typically a very thorough individual when it comes to stuff at work. So, hey, you spoke with me in the past. I probably told you what you needed to know. And if you didn't do anything with that information, that's on you, buddy. I can only do so much. I can only tell. I mean, there's a certain point where I'm kind of just repeating myself because I told you all that I can really tell you, right? Um, but yeah, I get it in terms of being empathetic, and well, if you were on the other side, true, true. Um, but it's not always like that, and there's certain circumstances, abiding by company policy and guidelines. So look, hey, you sign up, you should know when you were signing up for, but some people are just more ignorant than others. So, and you do, after interacting with so many customers over the years, like, man, there's some people that really just don't. They're just going through life like not without care, but just being ignorant on some things, like, or maybe even choosing to be ignorant. I don't know. It's just crazy life we live in, right? My apologies. Crazy world we live in because there's some people you're like, how do they make it through life? Like, how? Like, what steps, what path do they take to get to this point, right? Very interesting. Everyone has their own stories, their own experiences that molded them to the person they are at that time. So, but hey, if you have any experiences with any interesting or unique customers, do comment down below. Otherwise, that'll be it for me till tomorrow. So take care. See ya.